Welcome to the Cabral House Call. I'm Stephen Cabral, board certified naturopathic doctor, and today we're going to go over your questions related to health, fitness, and training. Today's first question is, how do you know when to increase weights? So basically, whether it's a cable machine, band strength, tensile strength there, whether you are using a barbell, any of those things is you're increasing weight to hopefully provide a little bit more stimulus on your body so that your body is forced to change. That's the real reason why you go up in weight. You don't go up in weight to just go up in weight for the sake of going up in weight. You're actually, it's a principle called the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demands. You probably heard me say that before, but what it means is that if you want your body to change, you need to give it a reason to change. That means you need to eat different foods and you need to exercise differently. You can't keep doing the same exercise you're doing right now and expect a different result. Your programs need to change every 4 to 6 weeks, and you have to constantly, not every workout, not every week, but you have to create a different stimulus on the body, and typically that means increasing weight. Now for women, that doesn't mean you're going to increase weight and all of a sudden start bulking up, but it does mean that's going to rev your metabolism to a little higher degree because the intensity level increased. So what I would say is when you can complete an exercise for the said number of reps, now that might be 10 reps if that's required, or 15 reps, or whatever it might be, what I would like you to do is if you can do the 15 reps, no problem, and you could have done 18 or 20, meaning that 15th rep wasn't your last rep to failure, I want you to increase weight next time. And what I want you to do is increase by about 10%, 20% weight-wise. So if you're using a 15-pound cable machine, you'll go up to 17.5 pounds. It's pretty nominal, but it's enough to see if it's an increase. And if that's easy, you go up again the next set, and you go up, you make a little check marker in your notes, and you go up the next week. If you're doing 10 pounds, go up to 12 pounds. So make those incremental increases, meaning your form will still stay tight. It should be the same exact form the whole time. That should not change, but only the weight changes. Form stays the same. That's the only variable. That's how you get better results. Next question. So your workouts, typically you're working out for an hour. I think that's a pretty common time for a lot of people. Is that too much or too little? Well, it's a hard question because we don't know if you're just doing cardio or whether you're doing weights or whatever it might be. So my thing is this, a lot of people, they get on a cardio machine and they say, I need to do an hour. And that's what they do because it's kind of arbitrary with weight training because you're not training the whole time, or they do an hour class. So what I would say is if you're doing an hour of cardio, it's probably too much. I mean, unless you're training for a particular sporting event, you're getting ready to do a sprint triathlon, or you want to do a marathon or half marathon or 5K, yeah, you probably need that cardio time. But if you're looking for weight loss and for body transformation, an hour is just too long on cardio. It really is. So what I would say is I would break that up to do a half hour of weight training and 30 minutes of cardio if you want to be in the gym an hour. Keep in mind that I personally believe you don't need more than for a person looking to lose weight, transform their body, no more than 20 to 40 minutes per day of exercise. I think that's plenty. And then I want your walking in there. Of course, I want your 10,000 steps. Your exercise can be part of that, but we want that to be, overall about, let's say, if you can do a 40-minute workout 3 days a week, 4 days a week, you're way ahead of the game. That's gonna be fantastic. Now, if you're on a exercise bike and you're just pedaling away, not too intense, for an hour, that's no problem either. What I'm talking about is people killing themselves for an hour in the gym and it's just way too much. What I'd rather see is you construct a metabolic resistance training program that's about 25 minutes to 40 minutes long, and that includes exercising with some intensity for anywhere between 1 and 3 minutes of doing a chest press, a squat, and then some type of plank exercise maybe for your core. That'll last about 3 to 5 minutes. You're gonna rest, you're gonna repeat that a couple times, you're gonna switch exercises. So what I would say is you want your program to be well thought out, and then the time really doesn't matter. So what I would say is if you're just going in to do an hour of work, it's arbitrary, it doesn't mean anything. Have your workouts mean something. Go in with a plan. Do 20 minutes, 30 minutes of weight training, then do 10 minutes of interval-based cardio. That's a phenomenal workout. That will take you 30 to 40 minutes maximum. And the other days, you can just do some body weight exercises at home, maybe 10 minutes or so, get in your 10,000 steps. So we'll get more specific in actual program design in the future, but what I'd say is if you're doing an hour of intense cardio. It's too much. It's going to become catabolic. You're going to start to lose muscle mass, and your body's going to start to look softer. Don't do an hour of straight cardio. Make it count. Do some resistance-based training in there, and then do some intervals after that. If you just want general fitness, sure. Pedal away for an hour on a bike. No problem at all. Enjoy yourself. Was that our last question?
Nope, we have one more.
One more question. All right, so this is a really nice follow-up to our second question, is if you'd like to do cardio and you're doing cardio at the gym, I think that was right, correct? What cardio piece would you choose? So great question. For the majority of people, they simply should not do a treadmill for an extended period of time because the majority of people aren't in biomechanical alignment, which means that their hips here are in alignment with their knee and they are in alignment with the ankle. So every time they foot strike the ground, their foot usually turns out and their knee turns in. That's a disaster for knee injuries in the future. And if you think about it, you're doing like 10,000 foot strikes as you're doing cardio. That means you're improperly striking the ground and putting pressure on your ankles, knees, hips, and lower back 10,000 times. So what I would say is if you love running, get yourself in good biomechanical order. Your hips are working properly, knees are in proper alignment, your calves are stretched out, you have good ankle mobility, all of that. Now, if you don't, but you love to run, I would split up your half hour of cardio to be 15 minutes first on the bike or elliptical or whatever you enjoy, and then 15 minutes on the treadmill. So you're a little bit more warmed up, you can start to engage your glutes a little bit more, you can activate, you can move. And then if you don't really care which cardio piece you use, I suggest not using the elliptical as much unless you really do have a lot of joint-based pain because it is soft on the joints. The problem with the elliptical is that there's just not a lot of biomechanical work being done. You kind of glide through the motions. That is nice because it's soft and smooth. But if you're looking to use it as an interval and burn body fat, it's not my favorite. I do like the upright bike. I find that the only issues with an upright bike are that the hip flexors here get tight and the hamstrings get a little overly tight. But if you stretch those, I think you're totally fine. So a spin class, or a half hour of basically doing that upright bike is fantastic. Another thing is if you're doing cardio 2 to 3 times a week, do the exercise bike one day, do the rowing machine one day with good form, and then if you want, go for a run that one day, or do the elliptical, or do the step mill, which is really nice. So the Stairmaster is up and down, not my favorite. The step mill, you're actually walking on a rotating staircase. Love that one as well, that's fantastic. So what I would say is any one of those are great, and then if it's a nice day out, if it's a beautiful day out, get outside. Do some stair runs, do a hill interval workout, or even just go for a nice run when it's nice weather. Hopefully that answers your question. We'll be back real soon with more of your questions answered on Cabral House Call.